He has been called a lollipop bowler, yet still, he have gotten 114 test wickets, including 4 5 wickets all, including bowling down the country, England, the country of the broadcaster, who called him a lollipop bowler. It has been said on radio in Jamaica that he can play the cover drive better than Viv Richards. His test average is 36.44. He has 13 centuries and 27 half centuries. Having played 102 matches for the West Indies, it means therefore one in every 5 times he batted, he passed 50. Yet still, his average was 36. Some people think that he should have done much better with the talent that he had. Carl Hooper said that the West Indies administrators need to pack their bags and go. Hello, everyone. Thank you for tuning in to the Cricket Forum. Welcome to the show. I hope you're having a great morning and thank you for being here. Please slash a like on the video, share and subscribe. Just before I get into the show though, I know it's Christmas time. Some of you might be looking gifts and so on for yourself, for your loved ones. Then in the description, there are some links for you that you can click and buy some wonderful gifts for yourself and for your loved ones. So please click on those links in the description at the end of the show and get yourself a gift, or for your loved ones or for your children, your family. Click on those links. Now to the show. Carl Hooper wants Cricket West Indies administrators to pack their bag and go. He have made some comments recently, and he said, from 1993, we have struggled. And certainly, judging from the results, there's no policies or system that have been implemented that is changing the downward course we are on. I think that should have been downward course that we are on. There's no doubt that Carl Hooper is right here. The Cricket West Indies is on a downward course. Since we lost that match to Australia at Sabina Park and losing the series 2-1, the West Indies have continued to struggle, and it appears that there's no way up. So we know that. We know that, Carl Hooper. So he went on further to say, we have changed captains, we have changed personnel, we have changed coaches. It hasn't worked. So maybe let us go a little bit higher and get people in this position that can lead us in the right direction. I want to say to Carl Hooper, there are a number of persons who would like to lead West Indies cricket in the right direction. But there's so much politics that those persons who want to lead will be humbugged by the politics. And although he spoke about the director, when we were dominant, you hardly knew the directors. Today, we got 16 directors making cricketing decisions. I don't know how many directors we had then. In my opinion, when it comes to directors, if you need 16 to do the job, you need 16. If you need 20 to do the job, you need 20. If you need only 3 to do the job, you need only 3. The number of directors is not my challenge here, is not my issue here. What is important is that the directors are doing a good job. And at this time, the directors of Cricket West Indies are not doing a good job. They are not appointing the right people. They are not being accountable. Look at the incident with Marquino Minley going to Australia. Up to this time, we heard nothing. But the downward trend of West Indies cricket, Carl Hooper, and I'm not bashing Carl Hooper here because I love to watch him bat, but he must remember that the downward trend of West Indies cricket started during his time. He himself said, Carl Hooper himself said, the biggest regret I have is that I did not train hard enough. Carl Hooper himself said that. He said that I only trained when there were talk in the ear of I getting dropped because of a series of poor scores. So he must remember. I was thinking about it, and I was saying, When did this decline started? Did it start with the firing of Dennis Wade? Those of us, do you remember Dennis Wade, the Australian trainer and physiotherapist that was there in the glory days of West Indies cricket? Do you remember Dennis Wade? Who many persons said that he was fired because of Lara influence, but Wade himself came out and said that Lara, although he was very powerful at that time and he had the backing of the board, he did not believe that Lara was the one who caused him to get fired. Dennis Wade himself said that the spiral down started when the players stopped working hard and see him as a problem because he was pushing them too hard. That's what Dennis Wade said. That the players think that Dennis Wade was pushing them too hard. And the board backed the players and Dennis Wade had to go. You all heard I talk about player power, and that player power is destroying West Indies cricket. One of the root of the problem is the player power. Well, Dennis Wade, he said the players believed that he was pushing them too hard, and they had the support of the board. And remember, they used the argument between Lara and Dennis Wade, because Dennis Wade and Lara did have an argument. But these players put the information out there in the public that it was Lara who got Dennis Wade fired. Dennis Wade is saying that no, it was not Lara. It was the players who think that I was pushing them too hard, because Lara is always a hard worker. And the criticism that used to come out about Lara is because of Lara work ethics and Lara work attitude and his performance. And when these guys with their ego could not compete with Lara because Lara was working harder than them and performing harder than them, they start to put rumors out there that Lara was a disruptive force in West Indies cricket because they did not want to train hard and work as hard as Lara. And those of you who are in management knows that how that goes. When you require a very high standard from workers, they tend to hit back and say they don't like how you talk to them. They said you're pushing them too hard and that you're a slave driver and so on. And so, because these players during that time when the spiraling down start, first, they got rid of Dennis Wade. Secondly, they start criticizing Lara and start putting information out there about Lara. That's when the spiraling starts. And that's what Carl Hooper need to address. And as I said, I love to watch Carl Hooper bat. I think he was a good performer for the West Indies. His average of 36.46 could have been higher by his talent. But he himself admitted it, that he didn't work hard enough. And if he had worked harder, he would have been a better cricketer. So that's the culture that has been in the West Indies cricket team from 1993. That has been the culture. From the time that they conjecture up and get rid of Dennis Wade because it's claimed that he was pushing them too hard. Mark you, there are things that came out that Wade was a drunkard and all so on. But we must remember that the first meeting that Clive Lyde had with Dennis Wade, Clive Lyde said when he turned up to meet Dennis Wade, he was drunk. But he looked past the drunkenness because of the quality and the skill of the man. And he had never yet drunk when there's a test match or around the players. And he always doing a good job. So that was even one of the things that the players put forward about Dennis Wade in trying to get him sacked. But since Dennis Wade have been sacked, the West Indies performance have been going down and down and down. And during the glory days, there was one constant. The one constant, Dennis Wade. And so Hooper must remember that and address that as the first issue. While the administrators and the directors cannot absolve themselves of the blames and the downward spiraling of West Indies cricket, Hooper must address the issues of the players who are refusing to work hard, and that trend have continued today in West Indies cricket and is getting worse and worse and worse and worse. Hello everyone, I will look at some of your comments now just before I go into the players rating. Thank you, Tony Ramsamy. Thank you, Tony Ramsamy. Thank you. Chrisanda, so true. Thank you, sir. Thank you. That needs to change. We should not look where you are from based on the individual and their performance. Thank you, Tony. Yes, if we can recall, the spiraling down started when they got rid of Dennis Wade. And there was complaint from the team that Dennis Wade is pushing them too hard. And they blame Lara. They put it out there that it was Lara who got Wade fired. But it was not Lara, because Lara believed in hard work. Lara himself was a hard worker, and he believed in hard work. And it was not Lara that caused Dennis Wade to get fired. But they used that as a scapegoat. Those underperforming players. I'm not going to call any name. You know the names that were in the team during 1993 and after. So I'm not going to call any name. But it was during that time that the spiraling down started. And the team have not yet been fit since. Now, just look at what happened in this series against Australia. How many players broke down in this series? Mindley, Seals, Roach, well, Banner got knocked, the other Mayers got knocked, but look how many players broke down in the series. Look how many players carrying niggers. We have to send for, although not unusual, it's not unusual, but we had to send for a 35-year-old guy who's playing great cricket in Australia to be emergency fielder in the last test. Because the 16 players that we have down there, Reefer included, broke down. So many players broke down. What about the fitness standards of this team? When we were winning, we were the fittest team in international cricket. We were the fittest team. And now that we are not working hard, we are way down the bottom. We are 9th on the test ranking table. 9th. And it's because the team is unfit. And if you think the team is not unfit, why so many guys broke down in Australia? Back to your comments. Wake up and see how other countries are doing it. Thank you. True. Sheldon Simmet. Tony, who since Shiv have been able to hold on a West Indies spot? Yeah, we understand that, Sheldon. Sheldon, what I'm saying, Sheldon, the point I'm trying to make, and this is the point, the team can lose, Sheldon. The team can lose. And how are you? How are you, brethren? The team can lose. The team can lose. And if we don't have quality, we just don't have quality. Do you think that Steve Smith, Labuschagne, Travis Head, Mitchell Stark, Cummins, all of these guys, Kohli, do you think these guys just born the way they are, or do you think they work hard? Remember your countryman Lara. He works very hard to achieve. So what we're saying is that who can hold on a hand? If the guys work hard enough, they will be able to hold on a hand. They are just not prepared to work hard, Sheldon Smith. That's what I'm saying. Lara used to work hard. Your countryman used to work very, very hard. Hetty was given the opportunity in test. What happened? Now, Ed Meyer is not a good test batsman. His average doesn't suggest that. I'm going now to the players' rating. Clive Summit, good morning. We really need an overall change from top to bottom. Why has Jimmy Adams never have anything to say about anything that goes on with so many questionable decisions? I am telling you right here, right now, Clive Smith, I am calling for the resignation of Jimmy Adams. I do not think he's doing a good job. I think Jimmy Adams should go. The CEO should go. The president said that he's stepping down in March. I hope that they will call an extra general meeting and get rid of the president from now. What I want Hooper to tell us, though, I just don't want Hooper to come and make this political statement for statement's sake. I want Hooper to come and tell us, give us an idea how we can move the cricket forward. That's what I want. Hooper and the other past players need to form a movement to get West Indies cricket out of the dire strait that they're in. We need to form a movement. And Zimbabwe is coming up. Zimbabwe is coming up in January. In previous broadcasts, I said South Africa was the next series. Since somebody in the chat did say that Zimbabwe is the next series, and I have checked it, and Zimbabwe is the next series. And Zimbabwe is coming up. And I hope that we don't send our friends to play in that Zimbabwe series, but we pick the best team. I'm really hoping that we do that. Now to the player ratings from the Australian Test Series. Now, Craig Brathwaite, he scored 196 runs, got 3 wickets, he took a catch. Overall, he was the outstanding batsman. The century that he made in the second innings of the first test was a good knock, and he and Chanderpaul seemed to form a good partnership. And although you would have expected him to go on to make more runs, I think that overall his performance wasn't bad. So I give him 7 out of 10. We are rating all these players 7 out of 10. You can join in and put your rating. Please don't put the rating for the person name that is on the screen. We don't want to run it too fast and you have ratings for different players and the name is not on the screen at the time. So the person name who's on the screen, put your ratings there for that person. So I'm going to give Craig Brathwaite a 7 out of 10, 5 being the average. So giving him 7 out of 10, he performed average. When it comes to Tej Narayan Chanderpaul, his first test series, he made 160 runs. That means he averages 40. Didn't like the run out and didn't like the way he got out in the second innings. There's a lot of promise here. We hope that this is a foundation because we should not believe that he arrived as yet. As I heard one commentator say, that Trinidadian Open, what's his name, Barrett, in his very first test match, he made 100 against Australia in Australia, and we have not heard from Barrett since, so to speak. So it was a good start for Tej Narayan Chanderpaul. I didn't like the way he got out, as I said, in the second match, the run out. I think he needs to concentrate a little harder, but the signs are very good. We are very happy. We are very happy to see what Tej Narayan Chanderpaul did in those 2 matches. Although did not like the dismissal, you wanted him to make more runs, but I'm giving him a 6. I think he performs above average. Nkrumah Bonner. Now, Nkrumah Bonner played 1 match. He made 16 runs. And a lot of persons have been saying to me, Cricket Forum, you're right. You're right about Bonner and the pace. You're right. Now, I choose not to address it because he got hit. And I don't want anyone to get injured. He got hit by the pace, Cameron Green. He got hit. And my hope is that he recovered quickly and that he will live a long and lasting life and he will continue to play cricket for the West Indies. I hope by this he's now out of the concussion. So I wish Bonner well. So I would prefer if I'd gotten it wrong and he did not get hit. I would prefer if I'd gotten it wrong and he had scored 100. I would have preferred that. It's unfortunate that he got hit. And although people are saying, yes, Cricket Forum, you're right about Bonner deficiencies to the pace, I do not take any comfort in being right on this one. I do not take any comfort. I give him a 6 because he faced 43 balls. He fight. He didn't get out. He got hit. And I'm sure if Bonner was there, maybe the West Indies would have not lose the first match. We probably would have drawn the first match if Bonner was able to survive. So he made 16 retired earth, got it. I gave him a 6. That was his only innings in the match. Shamar Brooks. I look at Shamar Brooks, and Shamar Brooks replaced Bonner in that first test as a concussion substitute. His innings of 33, I applaud that innings. That was a very, very good innings. But as someone who have played 11 test matches before that, and I've now played 13 test matches, although making 33 in that first match when he was not prepared, in his next 3 innings, he had only made 19 runs to end the tour with 52 runs. 52 runs on the tour for a frontline batsman, former captain of Barbados, is not good enough, and I can only give him a 3. Just looking at your comments, Barrett has given up cricket. He's now into ministry. Yes, I understand that, Claude Murphy, but what I was just comparing him with Chanda Paul. We are very happy how Chanda Paul did, but we do not want to get carried away as yet. We hope that he built on the foundation. So I was just drawing the comparison that Barrett made 100 in his first match in Australia, but did not build on the foundation. And I do not want that to happen to Chanda Paul. I really want to see Chanda Paul. Thank you, Claude Murphy. You're always on top of things and always helping me out. You have a 4 for Banner Sheldon. I have a 3. No problem. No problem. Your statement that Etmire is not a test batsman is a type of negativity that discourages our talented cricketers. I disagree with you vehemently. I'm not going to use those strong words, sir, but to me, batting is runs. Etmire test average does not reflect that he's a quality test batsman. And until he gets that average and show us that he's a quality test batsman, I cannot say anything else. I'm not going to use strong words as vehemently and so on, sir. Respect John P. Nicol. You have always contributed and we have always have lively discussion. But I'm saying that Etmire figures, Etmire statistics. He has played a number of test matches, but his statistics does not reflect quality. It does. It does not. You and I would be very happy if Etmire was averaging 14 test cricket. We'll be very happy here today. And it's not negativity. Sir John P. Nicol, we have a number of discussions all the while, and I always enjoy the discussions. But does Etmire average reflects that he has the quality to play test cricket? What I want Etmire to do is to prove me wrong. It is not negative if he's averaging 24. I cannot say that he's averaging 40 when he's averaging 24. You cannot average 24 and win match for your team as a test batsman. That's all I'm saying, John P. I have to tell the truth. I have to tell, it's not negativity to talk the truth. It's not negativity. I do not see it that way, Sir John P. How you doing? Hope you're having a good day. Okay, so those are comments. So I was at Shamar Brooks. No, Blackwood. Jermaine Blackwood as a vice captain of the team. In 4 matches, he scored only 63 runs. He gave his wicket away at least on 2 occasions that I recall. Jermaine Blackwood need to step up to the plate. The calls for Jermaine Blackwood being dropped from the team is getting louder and louder and louder. And it's going to continue to get louder. I don't think they're going to drop him for the Zimbabwe series. He's still one of 3 batsmen in the team who averages above 30. So I don't think he will be dropped for the Zimbabwe series. But Jermaine Blackwood need now to step up and show that he's a senior cricketer in this West Indies team. Again, I have nothing against Jermaine Blackwood. My wife used to teach Jermaine Blackwood. I don't have anything against him. His ranking is number 3. My ranking for him is 3. Devon Thomas, who played 1 match, made his debut in the 2nd test. He made 31 runs, got 2 wickets. He took a catch. I gave him an average score of 5. I love how he bowled in the 1st innings. He looked solid at the crease. Before, in the 2nd innings again, he looked solid at the crease, but he played a wayward shot. Now, this 5 that he got is mostly for his bowling, because a batsman 31 cannot cut it. 31 cannot be the standard by which you judge someone at. But because it was his first match and he looked solid at the crease and he bowled well in that first innings, I'm going to give Devon Thomas a 5 for his performance in Australia. Next, I'm going to Kyle Myers. 11 runs, 1 wicket. Again, the reason why Kyle Myers get a 5 is that he had an injured shoulder batting in the second innings and that he bowled very well in that first innings. Now, to all Kyle Myers bowled so well in that first innings, I was tempted to give Kyle Myers a 6, but because he dodged that catch off Thomas in the second innings, when the first ball that Green got from Thomas in the second innings, Kyle Myers was too deep at first slip. And he did not decide to move up, that they had to replace him at first slip with Chase because he decided that he's not coming closer. So that's why he got a 5, mostly because of his bowling in that first test. He really bowled well in that first test. Not because of his batting, and maybe it should have been a 4. Maybe it should have been a 4. But let me see what, if you're in the chat are rating him. Maybe Kyle Myers should be in a 4. But let's see what the chat is saying. Blackwood 6? Oh, let's see what... Blackwood doesn't deserve a drop, but he deserves a kick up the backside from the new coach and captain. He has been good over the last 12 months, but he gives his wicket away too easily sometimes. That is so true, Supernova. I see Sheldon giving him a 6. Sheldon giving Blackwood a 6. Chase needs to be dropped. Sheldon give Myers a 5. Yes. When we come to Chase, you put in Sheldon giving Myers a 5 there. Who's this one now? Supernova. Chase won't be dropped now. I'm sure he was our 3rd highest run scorer in that Australian series, Tony. So the different comments are coming in. So Jason Ola, on to Jason Ola. Put your cover, Jason Ola. How many you think that Jason Ola, what ranking you give Jason Ola? I gave him a 3. 41 runs in 4 innings as the senior all-rounder in the team. Former world number 1 all-rounder, only 1 wicket in 2 matches, conceding over 200 runs. 1 catch, he took 1 catch, and I think he dropped another. So Jason Ola, I'm giving him a 3. We expect more from Jason Ola. Jason Ola is one who, I am saying it here now, I have nothing against the man. I don't know the man. I have nothing against him. But as I said in my previous show, I will not have Ola in my test team. I will not have him in my one-day team. I will not have him in my T20 team. I think that Ola needs a break. He needs to go and show us that he's ready again. I think that for the past year, Ola is just ambling in and he's not performing as good as he should. So I think that Ola needs a break. He needs a break, and I would not have him in my team. And accordingly, I would only give him a ranking of 3. Now, Joshua De Silva. Joshua De Silva took 2 catches in this series. He took 3 catches. He took 2 brilliant catches. Now, but he also dropped 2. And for having 50 runs in 4 innings, Joshua De Silva is one of the persons who is sure of their game in the team. They are not going to drop him. He's sure of his game in the team. He's under no such pressure. I can only give Joshua Da Silva a 3. He needs to make more than 12.5 runs per innings. You cannot be in the number 7 batsman, the wicket-keeper batsman in the team, and only contributing 12.5 runs per innings and dropped 2 catches also, although he took 2 brilliant ones. The other one was a regulation catch. But Joshua De Silva, for me, Joshua De Silva is a 3. Let's see the comments. Joshua De Silva is a 3 for me. Older 4.5, older winding, Sheldon giving older 4.5, 007. Oh, you're doing 007? Older winding down to the end of his career. Da Silva, Claude Murphy gave him a 5. Supernova, Da Silva 4. Wasn't expecting much from Josh this tour. I expect better in Zimbabwe. Sheldon, what about okay, we're doing the players rating right now. He kept well. Yes, he kept well, but he did drop 2 catches. Da Silva 3.5, 4 batting needs a lot of work, technique flawed. 007, give him an exact score, either 3.5 or 4. Top bowler in the Caribbean, how come he's not in the team? Oh, you're referring to some Tony Ramsamy, you and I have the same for Da Silva 3, needs to be dropped. Ishmael, you have a 2 for him. So, okay, very good. I love that. Please now. So let us go on now to Ruston Chase. I gave Ruston Chase a 5. He got 3 wickets. He made 115 runs. He took 1 catch. Ruston Chase did not perform the role that he was primarily picked for. We all agree that Ruston Chase was picked for a role as the off spinner to basically tie up one end and allow the pacers to rotate from the other end. Just Ruston Chase was picked to bowl, as I said, anywhere between 25 and 28 overs in the day's play and can tie up the other end. His batting though of 115 runs must be commended. Ruston Chase, in my opinion, should not have been in Australia. His test average, I think, is 26 with the bat, and with the ball is 40-something. He should not have been in Australia because of his performances over the last 2 years. But he went there, he made 115 runs, which, as Supernova said, was the 3rd highest among the West Indies batters. And he took 3 wickets, albeit in a 2-match series. His economy was high. He could have gotten another wicket except for that catch that Da Silva dropped, and so he'd have gotten 4 wickets. I am giving him 5, which is average. 5 out of 10, I am giving him Ruston Chase. 5 out of 10. Let's see how you rate Ruston Chase. Comments? 4, you give Chase a 4, you give him a 3. Sheldon Smith, you give Chase a 6. John P. Nicol, let's see what Supernova said. I would give Chase a 5. He bowled poorly most of the time, but scored more runs than we expected. Seemed like every time he picked for a specific role, he performs the opposite. Okay. John P. Nicol, Sheldon, I agree with you that Edmire adjusted his game to make money. But to say he's not a test batsman is wrong. Okay, John P. All right. I'll take back that to say that he's not a test batsman, but he needs to improve his test average. Okay, John P. All right, take back that. Maybe to say that he's not a test batsman is wrong, but what I will say, and I will say definitively, and I won't take back this, Edmire test batting average does not justify his selection in the West Indies team at this time. I will say that, and I won't take back that one, John P. To say that he's not a test batsman is wrong. I'll take it back. I take it back. But his test average doesn't reflect. Ruston Chase is not good enough to bowl as a frontline spinner. We agree. He should not have been in Australia, but he went there and he was a 3rd leading run scorer. So we gave him a 5. I agree with you with that. Chase 5 is batting only reason why he gets 5, or it would be 3. That is true, 007. I gave him a 5 too. 2, 3. Moses Johnson, 4.5. Ruston Chase should know have been. Ruston Chase should know have been. I think you missed out something there. But let's go on to the next player. Alzarri Joseph. Alzarri Joseph is the next one. We should see Alzarri Joseph, 5 wickets. How many runs? Alzarri Joseph did made a 43 in one match. I forget to put in the runs there, but he got 5 wickets. I gave him a 6. Why? I gave him a 6 because he's the leader of the attack now to me. He's under a lot of pressure. He did got 5 wickets in the 2 match. We expected more from Alzarri Joseph. I did expect more from Alzarri Joseph. I expect him to get more wickets. But because he made a 43 in that match, I give him 6, which is above average. He did get 5 wickets in 2 matches. So I give him a 6. I expected more from Alzarri Joseph. He was not as penetrative as I thought he would be. He did not bowl consistently one line and length. I don't know if he was tired, and that could be as a result of he bowling too many overs because Chase never did his role. But I will give Alzarri Joseph a 6. I will give Alzarri Joseph a 6. Let's see how many you gave him in the chat. Let's see how many you give him in the chat. Tony Ramsamy 4. Claude Murphy 6. Joseph got a 6. Super Azari get a 6. He bowled decently and Trouble Manos, which he was the only bowler to do that. I maybe expected 2 more wickets, but he tried. Well, you and I agree, Supernova. You and I agree on that Alzari 7, 007, 70 runs at the bat. Okay, 70 runs at the bat, so you give him a 7. I gave him a 6. I'm sticking to my 6, but I accept your 7, 007. I accept your 7. Imran is saying, what will happen to West Indies in 2023 going up against South Africa? South Africa is number 2 and West Indies is number 8 on the list. To be honest, Imran is saying, I do not expect anything different from what happened in Australia. Please give Alzari Joseph a rating, Imran Hussein, please. Sheldon Smith, Joseph 6, but I'm not happy about it. Sheldon, so you give him a 6. Okay, good. 5. Moses Johnson, you gave him a 5. John P. Nicol Joseph a 6. Spot on. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Claude Murphy, he could not bowl the aggressive way he wanted to all others were struggling. That is true. And as I said, it could be as a result of 10. You gave Joseph a 10. Oh my God. You gave Tony, you gave Joseph a 10. Perfect. Oh, you gave him perfect. His job is to take wicket. Okay. Imran is saying, what will happen? Okay, yes, we read that one. Already. Joseph did not have the support in the bowling department, especially another fast bowler to back him up. Adrian Payne, what score you gave him? Giovanni Reid, we need to play 3-day cricket again in Jamaica. True, I agree with you. We need to play 3-day cricket again in Jamaica. What score did you give Joseph? All right, let's put a score in the chat for Roach. All is welcome. Roach again got 1 wicket in the 1 match he played. Again, another injury concern. Again, who is the fitness trainer for the West Indies? Who is the fitness trainer? We need to know his name. I don't know his name. I've been trying to find out his name. But Roach broke down again. But again, this is another issue which I would have loved to be wrong on. I would have loved if Roach had proven me wrong. And Sheldon, I remember Sheldon and I have a lively discussion about whether Roach should play or not. And Sheldon was saying that he's a spear at the attack, and I was saying that Roach is not going to get any wicket in Australia, blah, 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 blah. And we were there discussing it. Again, this is another situation where I'd love to have proven wrong. I wish Roach would have gotten 10 wickets in the match and West Indies won. But again, I was proven right that Roach should not have been in the team. And I'm not happy that I'm right. Yes, I feel a sense of justification that I'm right. But I would prefer to have proven wrong. So I am giving Roach a 2. Let's see how many you gave him in the chat. 5.5. I think that is probably for Joseph. Sheldon Smith, 3 for Roach. Ishmael, 1. 1 Ishmael. Oh my. Moses Johnson, 2. Tony, Joseph, I am impressive. 007, Roach, 2.5. Australia is not his home. Ishmael, we need a proper fitness trainer, not only in West Indies, but at the regional level. Cricket Forum, looks like you were right about Roach Australia record. I am puzzled why his record is so poor there. Yes, Supernova, but as I said, I am not happy that I'm right, but I wish he had no man. 10 for Joseph. Ishmael, 1 for Roach. Claude Murphy, 2 for Roach. Very good. So I love the participation. Let's now go on to Seals. Jaden Seals. 1 wicket. He conceded 113 runs from his 24 overs. He only made 5 runs. Again, another fitness issue. when Jaden Seals played his first test match, I think it was against Pakistan at Sabina Park, Jamaica, and I still standing by those comments. I said on radio in Jamaica that Jaden Seals is the next great thing in West Indies bowling. I'm looking forward to Jaden Seals backing up Joseph to start the attack for the West Indies. Maybe Gabriel comes in to partner Joseph, and Seals is the first change for the next 2 years, and Seals will learn as Joseph and Gabriel bowls that new ball. Seals is going to England to play county cricket. And I guarantee you that after those 3 months in England, Seals will be a different bowler and he will be ready for West Indies cricket. I am telling you, he will be a different bowler when he returns from